Should a Stoic forgive cheating? You sit there after finding out. The room feels smaller. Your mind keeps replaying the moment you discovered the truth, the message, the confession, the silence. And now the question rises quietly. Should I forgive? Not because you're weak, but because you loved. A Stoic would first notice something important. The event has already happened. You cannot reverse it. You cannot negotiate with the past. What you are really deciding is not whether cheating was wrong. It was. You are deciding who you will become next. If you hold on to rage, it will sit in your chest long after the relationship ends. If you forgive blindly, you risk abandoning yourself. So the real awareness is this: forgiveness is not about them. It is about the condition of your own mind. You forgive so you do not become consumed. But forgiveness does not mean access. It does not mean pretending it didn't happen. It means releasing hatred while still respecting your boundaries. The Stoic forgives internally to protect his peace, but whether he stays, that depends on character, not emotion. And sometimes the most powerful forgiveness is walking away without bitterness. Forgiveness without forgetting. There's a pressure people don't talk about. The pressure to move on quickly, to act like you're healed, to say it's fine, but your body remembers, your mind remembers. And part of you wonders, if I forgive, do I have to forget? No. Forgetting erases the lesson. Forgiveness releases the poison. Those are different. You can let go of resentment while still remembering what it revealed. The betrayal taught you something about their discipline, about their boundaries, about your compatibility. If you forget too quickly, you risk repeating the pattern. Awareness means holding both truths. I no longer hate you, and I will not ignore what you showed me. That is strength, not coldness, not bitterness, just clarity. Because growth does not come from pretending nothing happened. It comes from integrating what happened calmly. Forgiveness is emotional freedom. Memory is wisdom. You need both. Stoicism and second chances. The idea of a second chance feels romantic. It feels hopeful. It feels mature. But beneath it, there is often fear. Fear of starting over. Fear of being alone. Fear that you won't find connection again. So you ask yourself, do they deserve another chance? But the better question is, has anything truly changed? Stoic awareness means stepping back from the emotion of reunion and examining behavior. Are their actions aligned with growth, transparency, consistency, or just regret and promises? A second chance is not a gift you give to ease your own discomfort. It is a decision you make when evidence supports it, because love can forgive, but trust must be rebuilt. And trust is built slowly, not spoken into existence. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is try again. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is not. Awareness is knowing the difference. When forgiveness becomes self-betrayal, there is a quiet voice inside you. It whispers when something feels wrong. After betrayal, that voice grows louder. But if you silence it for the sake of staying, something shifts. You begin negotiating your own standards. You tell yourself, it's not that bad. People make mistakes. I'm overreacting. And slowly, your self-respect thins. Forgiveness becomes self-betrayal when it costs your alignment. When staying requires shrinking. When love demands that you ignore your own values. The Stoics believed integrity is living in agreement with yourself. If you forgive but feel resentment daily, anxiety daily, suspicion daily, that is not peace. That is compromise of self. Sometimes leaving is not punishment, it is preservation. Because the worst betrayal is not what someone did to you, it is what you allow yourself to tolerate repeatedly. And awareness begins when you listen to that internal voice instead of silencing it. Rational compassion versus emotional weakness. You can see their regret, you can see their pain, and part of you softens. That softness is human. But awareness asks, am I staying because it's right, or because I feel sorry? Rational compassion understands imperfection. It says, I understand why you made that mistake. Emotional weakness says, I'll ignore the mistake because I don't want to lose you. There is a difference. Compassion can exist without reconciliation. You can wish someone healing without tying your future to their growth. Stoicism is not cold. It is balanced. It does not deny empathy, but it refuses self-sacrifice in the name of mercy. You can be kind and still walk away. You can care and still choose yourself. Strength is not the absence of feeling. It is feeling fully and choosing wisely anyway. Can trust be rebuilt? A Stoic lens. Trust doesn't break loudly. It fractures quietly, and when it's gone, everything feels unstable. Every late reply, every unexplained moment, every silence. So can trust be rebuilt? Yes, but not emotionally, structurally. Trust returns when behavior becomes predictable again, when transparency replaces secrecy, when time passes without contradiction. It cannot be rushed, and it cannot be forced by love alone. The Stoic watches patterns, not promises. If the pattern shifts consistently, trust can slowly re-emerge. But if anxiety remains constant, that is data too. Awareness means listening to your nervous system. Peace is measurable. If rebuilding feels like constant tension, something is misaligned. Trust rebuilt feels calm, not dramatic, calm. Why? Forgiveness is a choice, not an obligation. No one is owed your forgiveness, not because you should hold grudges, but because healing cannot be demanded. Sometimes people expect you to forgive quickly so they can feel relieved, but forgiveness is not for their comfort, it is for your peace, and peace takes time. You may forgive tomorrow, you may forgive months later, or you may forgive silently and never announce it. That is your choice. Stoicism teaches autonomy over your emotional process. You decide when resentment is no longer useful. You decide when you are ready to release it. Forgiveness is powerful because it is voluntary, not pressured. And when it comes from awareness, it feels light. Stoic wisdom on reconciliation. Reconciliation is not about going back. It is about moving forward differently. If betrayal occurred, something was missing. Discipline, communication, boundaries. For reconciliation to work, those gaps must be addressed. Awareness means asking hard questions. Has accountability been taken without excuses? Is there transparency now? Is there patience with your healing? Reconciliation requires humility on both sides, and growth must be visible, not verbal. The Stoics believed adversity can refine character. If both people evolve, the relationship may deepen. If only one evolves, imbalance returns. Reconciliation is not emotional comfort, it is structural correction. Without correction, history repeats. Walking away without hatred. There is a powerful image of strength, leaving quietly, no revenge post, no dramatic confrontation, no destruction, just clarity. You can say, "This no longer aligns with me," and mean it calmly. Hatred keeps you attached. Calm detachment frees you. The Stoic understands that anger extends suffering. You don't need to demonize someone to leave them. You simply recognize incompatibility and choose peace. Walking away without hatred protects your character. It ensures that their mistake does not reshape your personality. You remain intact, and that is victory. Peace over revenge. Revenge feels satisfying in imagination, but in reality, It keeps you emotionally tied. The Stoic asks, what outcome gives me lasting stability? Revenge creates temporary relief. Peace creates permanent freedom. If someone betrayed you, the most powerful response is not retaliation. It is indifference, not pretending you weren't hurt, but refusing to let the hurt define your future. Peace means you process, you learn, you adjust, and you move forward without needing them to suffer, because your growth is not dependent on their downfall. And when you choose peace over revenge, you stop fighting the past and start building a stronger self.